So anyway, it was,
Yeah.
things weren't like they are now. And
So what was the year again that you started to work there?
26.
1926.
1926, 3 days before my 18th birthday. And of course, as it turned out, I stayed there for 47 years. I was never laid off. And and the only thing I transferred from tires to Goodyear Zeppelin when they started the Goodyear Zeppelin Corporation, and that was by my own request, And so I went over there and worked for Goodyear Zeppelin until the Macon was completed, the second the airships, and then they had no more airship orders, because the Akron had gone down, and so they told me, they said, well, you came from tires, you probably know people down there, go down and see if you can get a transfer back to tires. So I did, got transferred.
What year did you transfer back?
In 33, I think, March or something of 33, I transferred back there. And when I transferred back there, this was in the Depression, see, and when I transferred back there, I got 62 cents an hour.
Wow.
To do it. I was getting, I think, but that when at Goodyear Zeppelin, I was getting, I think, $140 a month by that time. And when I transferred back, I had to take a job at 62 cents an hour.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to stop.
Well, I roomed up on Goodyear Heights then, and people I roomed with, I was in a room with another fellow. There were two of us.
So you shared a room?
We shared a room, and the same bed. In fact, we were.
Oh.
Yeah, we were shared a room.
Double bed.
Yeah, double bed. We were in the same bed.
And you didn't know him until?
No, I didn't know him until I went up there.
Did you become friends, or?
Somewhat, but not great.
So you just kind of knew this guy and roomed with him, but
but I didn't really become friends with him. We never went anywhere together or so on.
What were your impressions of Akron? I mean, came from Fremont. Was Akron larger?
Oh yeah, see.
This is a big town.
This was a big city compared to.
Do you know
Fremont.
what the population would have been then?
I don't know at that particular time, but probably 200,000 or more.
Even then,
because it was a big city, and so it was quite different.
The Goodyear factory. At one point, when I think, maybe I'm wrong, I'm asking, when Harry was involved with Goodyear for a while, supplying them with meat and things, there was a tent city alongside Goodyear or something like that, where people were staying. Was that there?
They had a commissary.
Okay.
And it was, as I understand, it was a regular building.
I see.
Up beyond Plant 2, there was a commissary, and these fellows slept there.
When you say commissary, a building?
And they must have fed them there.
Okay, so it was a place for people to stay and live,
and eat. Yeah.
But it was a large number of people.
Yeah,
so more like a dormitory.
Oh yeah, like a dormitory. They called it a commissary.
Yeah.
And I understand that some of these fellows that you would have this, you would sleep there, and somebody else would come and the next shift, and they would
use your bed. It's meager living, just existing.
They needed workers,
Right.
And they came. This would have been during the World War and so on, They needed workers, and
This is the First World War.
A lot of them came from West Virginia.
This is the First World War?
Yeah, the First World War.
I mean, I'm saying that to a lot of people, because you said World War.
Yeah, the First World War, and a lot of people, to get help, a lot of them came from West Virginia, so that's why there were so many West Virginians up in Akron.
So people coming up from south like they did in World War II, they came up during the First War to work in the rubber factory too.
Yeah. So, that's where Harry had furnished the meat then, for Goodyear, and where he got into difficulty when Goodyear got into difficulty.
When you weren't working, during the day, what kind of things did you do in Akron? Where did you go? Where did you eat? What kind of restaurants did you eat in? Or did you
Well-
eat at the place where you boarded? What?
No, there was a restaurant across the street from Goodyear, a couple different restaurants, and ate there most of the time. And well, Manbeck, after I was here, I came in November, and I think in February, Manbeck came. He was going to the Sandusky Business College, and I was rooming with him and my cousin down there, where we were. And he came down here and got a job in the accounting department.
Who was Manbeck? Remind me who?
Manbeck.
Who was he?
Irvin Manbeck. Why, he lived all between Clyde and Bellevue on a farm, and
This is a friend?
well, my cousin, what was his name, and Manbeck, I don't know whether they went to school together or something. Anyway, then they were both going to Sandusky Business College. They
I
had
see.
been going there, and
While you were going?
and then
But you finished up early.
They had finished. They had been going there for some
Oh, I
time.
see. But you finished up early.
And yeah, and I finished up early. See, because we had a real strong course
At Fremont
in
High School.
Fremont. But they didn't have that in
Yeah.
their school, so it was all new to them.
Right.
So they went there for I don't know how long.
So they finished up then, and he came.
Yeah, and he came, and then he came down. So when he came down, he said, "Well, you know, could we room together?" And I said, "Boy, I sure wanted to, you know."
You knew him.
Oh yeah.
Felt more comfortable with him.
Oh yes. So well, and he living there, you know, between Clyde and Bellevue. Why, that was great. And so I asked the place I was rooming whether they, you know, could take another one, and they said no. So the house next door, I found, would take somebody, some roomers. So I went over there, and we both roomed over there. The people where I was rooming at didn't like it at all.
Sure.
Because I went next door. And
But they had room there.
but they had
For
room,
you too.
yeah. And so we roomed next door there then together. And
Did he work at Goodyear then too? Or?
yeah, then he got a job at Goodyear, and he worked in the accounting end then of the accounting department.
How did you guys get around? You didn't have a car at this point.
He had a car.
I see.
Yeah, I didn't have a car.
So you did streetcar or walk?
Well, we would walk.
Goodyear Heights?
We would walk from the Heights to Goodyear, you know. Yeah, we didn't take the car. We would walk.
So how far would that be? 2 or 3 miles?
Oh, no, that would be, I don't know, a mile and a half
I
or
see.
something like that. It wasn't that far,
Wasn't
you
that
know.
far.
Yeah, we walked back and forth.
What street did you live on in Goodyear Heights?
Malaysia Road. Just almost at the corner of Malaysia Road and Britain Road. Just a couple houses from it.
Is the house still there?
Yeah, still there.
The one that you lived in?
Yeah.
Do you know the address?
I don't remember the address now, but
The corner of Britain Road?
it was. I lived. First of all, I roomed at the house on the corner of Britain Road and Malaysia Road, and then I went next door and stayed there with the family. Was the Hills. Mr. Hill was one of the original Goodyearites. There
I
were
see.
I don't know, about a dozen or so that had been from the first, you know, and he was one of those. And he retired then while I was.
And those houses are still there?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
still there. Yeah. And so yeah, we walked. And then as it turned out, see, Manbeck had a car, and then when it came to coming to home, why I would come with him, and he would pick me up
Right.
then and take me back, and
Right.
so on. So it worked out great, you know.
Right.
So,
So,
yeah, but what we would do, you would ask about
Right.
eating, you know. Of course, eating in the restaurants, we called them the greasy spoons, you know,
Right.
and you did get tired of that. I don't
Sure.
know, it was so greasy. So we would watch churches had meals, you know, and they were home cooked meals and so on. So we would go to those places, and boy, we would get a good home cooked meal, you know, and